LSD and MDMA and world peace? That's just a little question. In 2 minutes.
What really has motivated me to devote my life to bringing back psychedelics is this idea of world peace. This idea that the psychedelic experience has political implications. And we've also, in the MDMA research, found this same phenomenon with openness, as we're working on a paper about that as well. I think that this idea of the violence that we see in the world is because people are identifying themselves with their tribe, their country, their religion, and then it creates these us and them dichotomies. And that the mystical experience, that classic element of it, is a sense of unity. And if you can experience that, then I think you realize that we're primarily the same. We're primarily part of this web of life. And that then people that are different from you are not so much a cause for fear and anxiety, but they're something that they're more similar, so you can appreciate and celebrate the differences and see how you can learn from each other. I think if we can have people, millions of people, billions of people that can experience that, and whether it's through psychedelics or not, I think the mystical experience has those implications. But I just think for most people, for me and many people, it's more been through psychedelics that these experiences have been created. One thing I want to say, though, that is in the research, we've looked at whether people have mystical experiences under MDMA. And you might think that the answer is no, that it's all about relationships, about openness, about empathy. But actually we find that there's a substantial fraction of people that do have full mystical experiences. Around 1/3 of our people have about 0.6 or above on the States of Consciousness questionnaire. But the key difference between the work that we're doing in therapy and the work that's being done with psilocybin is that we do not see a correlation between the mystical experience and therapeutic outcome. And we've looked pretty closely at that. And partially that's related to what we think is this newer understanding of memory and memory reconsolidation. That when you have trauma, or as we talked about adverse childhood experiences, that people have a very difficult time working through them. And that when you are under the influence of MDMA, you can look from a position of safety at prior trauma. And we find that people's memory for their traumas increases under MDMA. So actually, it's not like forgetting that it ever happened. That we've had veterans and firefighters, others who said that under the influence of MDMA, they had whole parts of the explosion or the fires that other people were killed in that they had blocked out. And that the memory comes back. So the repressed memories come back because this sort of fear threshold is reduced. And then when you're looking at it from a position of safety, then when you reconsolidate the memory, it's again done, coded sort of with this position of retrospective sense. It was then and not now, and it doesn't have that same emotional tone. So then when you remember the trauma again at a later date, you have more information about the trauma, but the fear is no longer directly associated with it. So that helps explain one of the